Well, good day to all of our awesome internet friends, family, and following. This is actually going out specifically to those of you that have opted in into our BitClub Network Pro email list. Now, you can feel free. You can feel free if you want to pass this on to any of your following. So feel free to do so. We've got some very important updates. Hey, how do you like that background? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, some very important things I wanted to share with you. I'm cutting this late in the evening on Monday, September the 1st. I was out of the office most of the day unexpectedly, and so it was my intent to get this out a little bit earlier. So many of you will be actually watching this on Tuesday. Okay, here's what I want to cover in this video. Real quickly, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, the next internet. All right, the next internet. The next internet. The time frame for the BitClub network. I think I said before, it's not a pre-launch, it's going into a launch. I think they're still going to call it a pre-launch, and that's just so that once it launches, as they see bugs, they can squash the bugs and so on and so forth. So we're going to talk about that. Make sure that you're setting up your e-wallets if you haven't already begun that. We're going to talk about something new that I've not discussed up to this point because I didn't understand it fully. And how big it is, but it's big. It's called a founder's position. It's only going to be available for 500 spots. So I'll talk about that. And then I want to take a look at CEX.io. I was looking at it on Friday to see the number of coins they had mined. And then I looked at it today, and between late in the day on Friday and late in the day when I looked at it today, that 3-day time frame, they mined over 3,000 new Bitcoin. So that's going to be really big as we get to that point. All right. Now, I don't know how long this is going to be. Watch it all. Okay. I don't know how long this is going to be. Watch it all. I'll try to keep it as short as I possibly can. Real quickly, I've been going through a lot of video training on YouTube about Bitcoin and really wanting, to become a student and understand where this is. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe, and I'm still learning, okay, but things I'm reading are suggesting that Bitcoin is, and when I say Bitcoin, I mean the whole world of cryptocurrencies, not just specifically Bitcoin, because there's like 400 coins out there, okay, but the whole technology of Bitcoin is going to be the next internet, and the way it allows people across the world. Those in the U.S., obviously, I'm originally from the U.S., those maybe in Canada, Australia, certain parts of Europe, we've been spoiled, okay? And but there's 5 billion, 5.5 billion other people that don't have or don't have the accesses, the ready accesses to banking accounts, with checking accounts, with so on and so forth. So that's going to be huge. And so what I want you to do is I'm going to include in here a link to an article, Meet the Man Building the Fort Knox of Bitcoin. And as you go through here, by the way, this is a company that has raised now $40 million from venture capital. They're saying that more money has been pumped into the infrastructure of cryptocurrencies from venture capitalists in the first 5 years of Bitcoin than was pumped into the internet in the first 5 years of the internet. Okay? This is a very fascinating read, so I will make sure that you've got the link and you can go through it and read it. This is a very, very, very fascinating read. I'll be accompanying this type of information with also some video training that I'm going through. I shouldn't say about video training, but I mean just things that I have found on the internet as I'm absorbing just how big Bitcoin can be. And I don't think I'm anywhere close to really understanding the magnitude of Bitcoin, just like people didn't understand the magnitude of the internet, okay? This is a fascinating read, so please make sure you take some time out of your busy day to read that. Those of you that are on Twitter, you might want to follow CoinDesk, and you might also want to go to @Bitcoin and begin to follow, getting some updates. This particular article here was sent to me by Russ. He's been following CoinDesk and at Bitcoin on Twitter, and I think he got this from one of their tweets. Okay, all right. So one down, three to go. Okay, time frame for BitClub Network. Let's say pre-launch. Originally, I was hearing it was going to be Wednesday of this week, okay? And I just spoke with Russ, and Russ is really kind of leading the field, if you will, okay? And he's in communication with the programmers and all that good stuff. And so there's some last-minute things that they are doing, and they want to make sure they're doing testing. They could launch Wednesday, but there'd be some parts of the system in terms of the commissioning that aren't ready. And I said, please, I don't care if it takes 2 weeks, because as far as I'm concerned, we just started sharing this with our audience after we were doing some due diligence ourselves. And so it probably won't happen Wednesday. It may not even happen this week. I actually hope it doesn't. All right, I'd like it to happen, at some point soon, but certainly not this week, hopefully. All right, now, what you want to be doing, here's the key. Make sure you're setting up your e-wallet. So I will include in the emails the information that I've included before from my sponsor about setting up your e-wallets. Now, this is going to be global, okay? So some of you in certain areas, you're going to have to, go and Google to find maybe the best e-wallet for your area. Like we had a team in South Africa reaching out to us, a team in Israel, so on and so forth. So, I've provided some information that, let's say, impacts the U.S. audience and the European audience. But if you're outside of those audiences, someone hit me the other day with a potential solution for our Canadians and what have you. So just do me a favor. Go to Google if you're looking for a good e-wallet. All right. Ultimately, you're going to have multiple e-wallets, but what you're really looking for is a place where you can transfer money to. All right, into that e-wallet, purchase Bitcoin, because everything that's going to happen in BitClub Network is going to be Bitcoin. Our commissions are going to be paid out in Bitcoin. Of course, you'll be able to transfer that out to your own e-wallet. You'll be able to convert that into whatever your currency happens to be. Now, I want you to be mindful of something, that Bitcoin is a moving target in terms of the price of Bitcoin. All right, so what I would do is I would fund my Bitcoin e-wallet and give it some cushion to allow Bitcoin to breathe and to move. So, for instance, when I first purchased when someone started moving funds, I think they're using Coinbase. I think Bitcoin was going for like a little over $500. And then when the monies got there, Bitcoin was going for like 480 or what have you. And that's I've seen that oscillate between like in the 470s to the 520s or what have you. I would give some cushion. Be mindful. You want to have enough going in to cover the $99 one-time outlay and whatever shares or whatever units of the specific pools you're going to purchase, the 500, the 1,000, the 2,000 if you're going to purchase multiple or what have you. I'd pad it though. I would give it some cushion. So for instance, if I was going to do a unit in the 500, a unit in the 1,000, a unit in the 2,000. All right, obviously that's $3,500 US dollars. Then the $99, so that's $3,599, $3,600. I would pad it by 100 or maybe 200. If you've got the resources to do 3,600, you probably have the resources to do 3,800. And then, if the rate by the time it gets to your Bitcoin e-wallet is higher, then that means that your Bitcoin actually appreciated. If it's a little bit lower, then preferably you've got enough cushion there to still be able to make your purchases. Okay. Now, Founders Club position, and how big this could be. I had heard this, but again, this is a lot of new information, so I hadn't really internalized it. There's going to be 500 founders positions and 500 only, from what I understand. And if you are a founder, you are going to be in a 1% pool with the other 500 spots, okay? And what will make you a founder, please only do this if you have the resources and you feel comfortable. What will make you a founder is if you're one of the first 500 that purchases in all three pools. So let's say you did the 500, you did the 1,000, you did the 2,000, okay? Please only do this if it makes sense for you financially. It's not going to hurt your family or anything like that. I did get confirmation that, so what that means is, for instance, let's say there were 1,000 coins mined that day, okay? 1% of that is 10 coins, all right? And that would then be split amongst 500 folks. And you say, well, okay, well, 10 coins split amongst 500 folks. All right, that's 0.02 coins. And you say, well, what's the big deal? Well, if Bitcoin is going for $500 US dollars, that's about $10 a day in that example, okay? So imagine, because you were founder, forever and ever, amen, you're in that pool. There's only going to be 500 in that pool. There's only going to be 500 in that pool. Now, I don't expect that they'll be mining 1,000 coins a day right away, okay? But I just want to show you the potentiality of that. Again, raise your right hand. You agree not to hurt yourself. But, you know, if you've got the resources, then you want to take advantage of that, okay? Now, I want to look at something real quickly, because some of you, after hearing this, might say, I've got the resources. What does this mean? I want to look real quickly at cex.io. And the other day, this was on Friday, I did a screenshot. Now, the one thing I wish I had done was actually done a screenshot where it would have shown the time and date stamp that I was looking at this. So right now, you're going to have to trust me on this. By the time I do a live webinar, I'll have screenshots that will show the actual date and the time and date stamp. And what I want us to pay attention to is, I did this on Friday, and this was Friday after late afternoon, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern, something like that. And at that time, cex.io was reporting that since it has launched, and I still don't know how long it's been around, they had mined 445,393 coins. Okay, we're going to look at what that number is now, some 3 days later. All right, so I did this on Friday, whatever that date happened to be, August the 30th or something like that, or 29th or something like that. And I just looked at it right before I started to cut this video. So 445,393. And notice the active traders. All right, these are people that are part of that pool. 267,566. 267,566. Okay, with that being said, all right, and I'm going to put in my calculator, by the way, there's 445,393. Okay, so 445,393 Bitcoin that had been mined. Now, keep in mind that with the mining pools that we're going to be a part of with BitClub Network, that they're not just going to be mining for Bitcoin. There's 400 other coins out there. Many of the other coins are more profitable to mine than Bitcoin. They'll all be converted over to Bitcoin because they're easily converted, okay? So for instance, if they're mining something called, I don't know if it's Dogecoin or Dogecoin or what have you, but that's the name of a coin, DOGE, I believe it is. Maybe that's the most profitable at that particular time. Well, however many coins they actually get from the Dogecoin, they'll be able to convert that into Bitcoin, and then on our daily earnings, and then any commissions and so on and so forth will be paid out in Bitcoin, okay? All right, here we go. So we've got our number there. So now let's go to the cex.io. I'm going to refresh this. I don't know if this changes or not, if this just updates once a day. I'm not sure, okay, because this is the same number that I saw just a few moments ago. Okay, so I want us to pay attention to a couple of things here. Number one, the number of mined coins since I did my screenshot on Friday. Okay, the number of mined coins since I did my screenshot on Friday. So this is now 3 days and maybe just a few hours, because it was like Friday late, 6, 7 p.m. As I'm doing this, it's Monday, 10:05 p.m. Okay, all right. So now let's take this number here, 448,725 coins. Let's subtract out the coins that were there on Friday, and this is going to show us that in that 3-day stretch, they've mined 3,332 Bitcoin. Okay, now let's take that 3,332 Bitcoin, and then let's multiply that times what Bitcoin is going for at the last price. The last price was $503. Okay, so basically, since Friday, from the mining process, and remember, mining is simply, well, I won't say simply because it's not simple, okay? But to help you understand, what is this mining thing? Essentially, there are computing powers, what we're purchasing in the pools, to solve very complex mathematical equations, which lead to the confirmations of, let's say, if I sent you Bitcoin for the purchase of something, it's going to look at my 32-digit Bitcoin account number, your 32-digit Bitcoin account number, and a lot of complex computations to confirm that I indeed did send you $100 worth of Bitcoin, and that you indeed received $100 worth of Bitcoin. And it's basically confirming. It's confirming that it was a legitimate transaction, okay? That's mining. And then what happens is those that are miners, are rewarded with coins, okay? So there are these mining pools where people purchase computer power that allows the mining operation to get faster and faster and faster as these mathematical equations become more and more difficult, and that allows them to be profitable. So in this case, this particular mine, almost $1.6 million, if you just took the Bitcoin. I think they also mine Litecoin. Okay, and the other thing is, look at real quickly, and we'll start rounding third here soon. Okay, look at their current active traders. Okay, I'm going to just see how many new traders they've come aboard, and this is without, they pay a 3% referral commission. Okay, they don't have anything close to what BitClub Network has in terms of a referral structure that would then really reward people for going out and getting the word out, which would then have more people becoming a part of the pool, which would then allow them to purchase even more and more and more and faster equipment, okay? What I want you to get out of this is real revenue, all right? Despite the naysayers, and I've already seen the naysayers start to talk and what have you. By the way, I do appreciate one specific naysayer. He put out he showcased my YouTube video, so thank you for that promotion. I appreciate that. Okay, all right. So despite what naysayers are saying, mining is a very, very profitable. Billions are going to be made just in mining. How much of that do you want to get? I certainly want to get my piece. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this. 269,673 active traders, and let's see where this was the other day when I pulled it on Friday. It was 267 minus 267, 566. So here is CEX.io with a very inferior way of rewarding people for referring others, and still in 3 days they had 2,107 new 2,107 new folks that came to their platform, engaged with their platform, so on and so forth. So this is why I want you to really pay attention, particularly in these early stages. As I've shared with you, this is going to be the most aggressive build that I've done. Am I still doing my Amazon business? You better believe. I've got products that are starting to come in from China that'll be coming out of production. You better believe it. I still believe that my Fulfillment by Amazon business ultimately will be an 8-figure business. I believe this will ultimately be a 7 to 8-figure business as well. And here's the thing. As I'm studying, I'm starting to believe that cryptocurrencies are the next internet. Okay, so listen, make sure that you're getting your e-wallet set up. Again, pay attention to the email that we sent out where we give you some links. If you've got to go in Google, then go in Google. As you start getting funds into your e-wallet, give yourself some cushion there in the event that there are some fluctuations in the Bitcoin price. Okay, so give yourself some padding there. If you've got the wherewithal, consider founder positions. There's only going to be 500 of those. I would imagine those will probably be taken within the first day to 2 to 3. Okay, I just believe that's going to happen. As people understand the founder positions, and from what I was told, just as soon as the earnings are starting, my understanding is this 1% is going to be paid daily. Okay, that 1% is going to be paid daily. Again, 1% of all the coins mined go into the founders pool, split amongst the 500 founders equally, and hey, that could be in time. All right, and as a matter of fact, let's just do this real quickly. Remember, what was it? About 3,300 coin in 3 days times 500. All right, 3,300 coins. Let's take 1% of that if you were a founder. About 33 coins divided by, so we'll take the 33 coins, divided by 500 founders, 0.06 there, and we multiply that times 500 based on roughly where Bitcoin is going. So that would have been about $33 over about a 3-day period, about $11 a day. All right, so if that happened, what $10 a day times an extra $300 a month maybe, as a founder. Now, obviously, CEX.io is one of the biggest mines out there. All right, so if you are a founder, don't expect that right away. They're one of the biggest mines out there, but because of the referral structure of BitClub Network, I wouldn't be surprised in the coming months to, I don't know what the game plan is. I don't know if they're trying to be the biggest mine and what their time frame would be or what have you. But just with that referral structure alone, that really can speed that up. Okay? All right, so with that being said, we love each and every one of you. Be on the lookout for any emails that we're sending out. And any of these videos that we're doing, you feel free to get to your folks. We will be doing a live webinar at least on Thursday. I'm strongly considering doing something on Wednesday. All right, so pay attention to your emails. I'm strongly considering doing a webinar on Wednesday, and then a webinar on Thursday, and maybe even a webinar on Friday. Okay? All right, with that being said, we love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours.